Today on Network Africa, China plays a big brother to Africa, pledging $60 billion for development on the continent. Life is far from normal in Cairo, Egypt, as 16 people are killed in an attack on a restaurant. And at home, a young graduate is waiting on the sidelines of being recognized for innovations in the tech world. Hello everyone, welcome to Network Africa. I am Amarachi Ubani. The much anticipated China-Africa summit has begun in Johannesburg, South Africa, with China's President Xi Jinping announcing his country will be providing $60 billion for development projects on the continent. China would also be cancelling some debt and boost agriculture over the next 3 years. President Xi Jinping said China would step up investment in factories manufacturing goods for export in Africa and build roads, ports and railways. His host, South Africa's President Jacob Zuma, is also co-chairing the summit, said Africa needs China now to help process its abundant natural resources, which have made the continent vulnerable to exploitation in the past. Attending the summit are 40 African leaders, some of whom have already held bilateral meetings with the Chinese president. Our correspondent in South Africa, Betty Dibia, reports.
But also continental chair.
The forum is pretty much well attended by about 50 leaders, and China was very much the cherished bride for its involvement in Africa.
It is doing to us what we expected those who colonized us yesterday to do. Let them, if they have ears to hear, let them hear. We will say he's a God-sent person. May God bless China and its people.
The Chinese President Xi Jinping spoke on his country's eagerness to establish and improve cooperation mechanisms with the African Union as well as regional organizations on the continent in fields such as political affairs, the economy, trade and culture.
Excellencies, this gathering represents the hopes and aspirations of about 2.5 billion members of humanity. We must therefore ask ourselves, what are the few areas that will lift our people out of poverty, live up to their aspirations in the context of a win-win cooperation and friendship? And I think the speech of His Excellency, the President of the People's Republic of China, has answered this question to a large extent.
Strategic partnership and cooperation between Africa and the People's Republic of China is an important instrument towards the achievement of what development goals.
President Muhammadu Buhari meets his Chinese counterpart as well as business leaders this evening.
If you look at one of the shopping lists of the President of China, he is saying that he's going to support Africa. They are going to make massive investment in agriculture and especially in the rural area where local farmers will be empowered. I see that for me is very encouraging.
And the forum continues on Saturday when First Ladies will meet on HIV and AIDS, which will be followed by the presentations by heads of government and the closing ceremony. From the Sandton Convention Center in Johannesburg, South Africa, Betsy Dibia, Channels Television News.
Well, President Xi Jinping is not only doling out big cash to African countries, he's also said today China will roll out 10 major programs to strengthen its cooperation with the continent. In the next 3 years, promotes construction of a comprehensive strategic cooperative partnership. The 10 major programs cover the areas of industrialization, agricultural modernization, infrastructure, financial services, green development, trade and investment, facilitation, poverty reduction and public welfare. It's a really long list. President Jinping says China will share experiences of agricultural development with Africa, transfer practical agricultural techniques and encourage Chinese enterprises to develop large-scale planting, livestock breeding, food storage and processing to increase local employment and farmers' incomes. He's also promised that China will continue to participate in the United Nations peacekeeping operations in Africa and support African countries and strengthen abilities in national defense and anti-terrorism. Still ahead on Network Africa. Egyptians are once again reminded of how fragile peace is in the country. 16 people become victims of an attack at a restaurant in the capital. Do join us again.